Some love stories begin quietly with shy glances, gentle promises, and ordinary days that look like any other. But some begin the moment everything shatters. This is the true story of a man the world once called Superman, and the woman who became his hero when the spotlight finally went dark. Christopher Reeve was not just an actor. For millions around the world, he was Superman. The perfect jawline, the calm confidence, the way he slipped into that cape as if he had been born for it. He became the very image of courage for an entire generation. Children looked up at the screen and believed that good always wins. Adults felt a little less afraid of the world because someone like him was out there flying above the clouds. But on May 27, 1995, all of that changed in a single breath. Christopher had always loved horses. He wasn't a reckless rider. In fact, he trained seriously, studied the sport, and treated it with the same discipline he brought to acting. That day, at a competition in Culpeper, Virginia, he prepared his horse for a simple jump. Nothing dangerous. Nothing unusual. Just one more obstacle he had crossed 100 times before. But the horse hesitated. Its front legs lifted, then stopped, and Christopher was thrown forward, head first. The world remembers the image of Superman lifting cars, turning back time, flying faster than the speed of sound. But that day he couldn't even lift his head from the ground. He was rushed to the hospital. The diagnosis came quickly and brutally. A fracture between the first and second vertebrae, C1 and C2. Complete paralysis from the neck down. He would never breathe on his own again. He would never stand again. He would never move his fingers or hold his son or hug his wife. The injury was so severe that even a slight difference in location could have been instantly fatal. In the quiet of that hospital room, the man who once embodied invincibility was suddenly fighting simply to stay alive. Christopher later admitted in his memoir that in those first days, he wondered whether his life was already over. He could not move, not even a little. His world had collapsed into a single hospital bed. And one day, overwhelmed by the impossibility of it all, he told Dana that maybe they should just let him go. He didn't want to be a burden. He didn't want his children to see him like this. He didn't want his wife to spend her life taking care of someone who would never again stand beside her as an equal. And that was when Dana spoke the words that would save his life. Dana Reeve had been a singer, an actress, a woman with her own dreams. But more than anything, she was Christopher's partner, his steady place in a world filled with noise. When she heard what he had said, she took his hand, looked directly into his eyes, and said, "I will support you in whatever you choose because this is your life and your decision. But I want you to know that I'll be with you for the long haul no matter what. You're still you and I love you." These were not dramatic movie lines. These were the real words of a woman who refused to walk away from the man she had chosen. And in that moment something shifted. Christopher later said that her words pulled him back from the edge, that she gave him a reason to keep breathing, even when he no longer believed he could. Life after that was not glamorous. It was exhausting, painful, slow. Recovery was not measured in big victories, but in tiny movements, a slight improvement in breathing, a few minutes of sitting upright without dizziness, the ability to control his wheelchair with a puff of air. Through all of it, Dana was there. She learned how to operate his ventilator. She learned how to manage his muscle spasms. She learned how to shift his body every few hours to prevent sores. She learned every detail of his medical care, because she refused to hand him over entirely to strangers. And yet she did it all without dimming the light in her voice. To the world she seemed almost impossibly strong. but in private she simply loved her husband and chose him again and again, every single day. Christopher slowly found a new purpose. Even when his body could not move, his voice still could. If he could not walk into a room, he could still lead one. And so he began speaking publicly about paralysis, stem cell research, disability rights, and medical innovation. People listened, not because he had once played a hero, but because he had become one. His speeches moved policymakers. His interviews sparked debates. His foundation merged with the American Paralysis Association to become the Christopher Reeve Foundation, raised over $140 million to support spinal cord injury research. He advocated for laws that improved access to treatment, equipment, and independence for disabled individuals. Behind each accomplishment, Dana was there, quietly managing schedules, planning events, arranging treatments, coordinating caregivers, traveling beside him, and offering the emotional strength that became his anchor. Christopher once said, "She is my life." And he meant it literally. For 9 years they lived this way, challenging fate, choosing hope, refusing to disappear. Their home became a place of both struggle and surprising joy. They celebrated birthdays, helped their son with schoolwork, hosted friends, and made each other laugh. Love had not vanished. It had simply changed shape. On October 10, 2004, Christopher Reeve passed away due to cardiac arrest following complications from an infection. And while the world mourned Superman, Dana mourned her husband, the man she had held, cared for, and fought beside for nearly a decade. But grief did not stop her. Soon after his death, she returned to the foundation and continued his work. She traveled, she spoke, she raised money, and she made sure Christopher's mission would not die with him. When asked why she kept going, she said, "Because love doesn't end." Then in August 2005, in a heartbreaking twist no one could have expected, Dana herself was diagnosed with lung cancer. She had never smoked a day in her life. Yet even as she grew weaker, she continued supporting the foundation, ensuring that the work she and Christopher had started would live on. On March 6, 2006, Dana Reeve passed away at the age of 44. Today the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation still operates. It funds groundbreaking research. It helps thousands of families affected by paralysis. And it carries the names of two people who refused to surrender to despair. Christopher Reeve once stood as the world's Superman. But when life broke him, it was Dana who lifted him, who held him when he couldn't hold himself, who fought when he could no longer move, who became the strength that even Superman needed. Their story is not about perfection. It is about choosing love over fear, commitment over convenience, and hope over hopelessness. Christopher Reeve showed us courage on the screen. But Dana Reeve showed us courage in the real world. And sometimes, that is the greater hero.